Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the podcast. This is episode 12, I believe. So we have a kind of like again, bigger, broad subject here that we want to discuss, which is pretty much all things sports. Anything sports, our favorite sports teams, anything. Yep. It could be any kind of sport.
Hence the jersey I'm wearing, go Cowboys.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Go Cowboys.
I mean, go Zildjian, you know.
Go Drummers.
I have a question for you is, what was your introduction into sports? Who inspired you? Pretty much who influenced you? Who got you interested in sports? Any kind of sports enthusiast? I'm not a sports enthusiast. I know you are. This is more of your, now I can let you kind of, you know, I have like things of talking about sports, but I don't have like the knowledge.
Yeah.
So just throwing that out here. That's why I'm wearing a Zildjian shirt.
Your drumline's a sport though, guys. Come on.
So what would you say is some of your influences in sports and people?
I mean, Cowboys fan, born one.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. It's just something that we live in Texas here, you know?
Right.
Maybe not the closest to freaking Dallas, but we're still in Texas. Everyone's a Cowboys fan. Everyone in my family is a Cowboys fan. Again, aside from maybe like the single ones who rebel, but being a Cowboys fan was just something that's always been in the family since birth.
Okay.
And never switched a team, never, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm not one of those annoying ones where it's like, yeah, we're gonna win the Super Bowl this year. Like, I'm a very realistic one. Like,
okay, I get you.
I'm a good Cowboys fan where you can enjoy watching a game with, because one, I'm not yelling the whole time, and then two, I understand that there's another team and they're literally trying to do the same thing we're doing. So just because we're trying to win doesn't mean that they're not trying to win, you know? So like if they have a good play, good play, like that's a good one, you know? I give the props, but I'm not like, nah.
Yeah, exactly.
5 Super Bowls, nah, you know?
What is that foul?
Exactly.
What was that?
I don't blame it on the refs. Like, yeah, again, sometimes they'll butcher a call, but at the end of the day, it's a game. I love it. I love seeing the competition of it. Being a Cowboys fan is it's a way of life. I describe myself as a part of the team. I'm not even a Cowboys fan. I'm a part of the team. So there's steps at being a fan.
Right.
So you can be a casual, right? Which is like, yeah, we're Cowboys.
Like,
like I wear a shirt. And then there's a fan, or I like the Cowboys. And then there's diehard fans, where it's like they breathe, sleep, bleed everything. Like you go into their house, they have a man cave of Cowboy stuff.
Oh, okay, I get you. Yeah.
But then there's another one.
Oh, really? What's after the third?
that's the one where you're a part of the team.
Oh, okay,
I've graduated from diehard.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And now I'm a part of the team.
Yeah, I get you.
So when people say, "Oh, are you a Cowboys fan?" I go, "No." I say, "I'm a part of the team."
Oh, okay. I was like, there's something else after that? I was like, what else is it?
I made it myself. That's my own terminology of how I see it. When you're a part of the team,
it makes sense though.
It's a little bit different. You're in the interview rooms with them.
Oh, okay.
You're on the sideline.
Yeah.
That's your thinking.
Gotcha.
You're not thinking about just watching the game. You're X's and O's.
Yeah.
You know where these guys went to college. You know everything. You know how much they weigh, what their height is, what they like to eat.
Yeah.
You're a part of the team.
Okay.
That's where I've graduated.
I understand now.
So,
I get you.
Yeah.
That's
just
cool.
made that up myself, but it's just like that next level of just that knowledge and how much you care about it. But yeah, Cowboys, football. I mean, I love all sports. Basketball would be kind of a 1-2 with them.
Who are some of your basketball influences and inspirations? Who did it start with? Just top three right there. Boom.
LeBron James. Definitely number 1.
Okay.
As far as influence, so growing up, my dad was a Lakers fan.
Okay, yeah.
And then a lot of my uncles were Lakers and Celtics fans. My mom was a Celtics fan growing up.
Okay.
And for me, I really didn't know basketball too well. Like when I was younger, I always watched the Lakers because of my dad, but it was always Kobe and Shaq. So that was cool. I was like, okay, like they're cool. I like watching them. Shaq, just this big ass dude who would just dunk over you and do anything, right? And then it wasn't until maybe around I was like 6, 7 years old. That's when I started hearing about a guy named LeBron James.
Oh, okay.
And this is when he was in high school.
Oh, yeah,
Dude
yeah.
was like 15, 16 years old.
That's right.
And that's when, like, national media started really covering him. The first game I watched, there was I believe it was a televised game on ESPN, and it was his high school versus another high school. It was St. Vincent St. Mary's, where LeBron went to high school, against Oak Hill Academy, which is where this other player, Carmelo Anthony, who was also a really good NBA player, he went to. And so that was kind of the first like introduction of seeing them, like, wow, that's LeBron James, like what the hell. He might have been older than, he probably was like 17, 16, whatever, but that was like the first time I heard, and I was like, I like that guy, like I want to do that. And then he got drafted to the NBA straight out of high school, and he got drafted by the Cleveland Cavaliers, so I became a Cavs fan.
That's right. I do remember that.
Where he started. Early days of me.
I remember seeing posters of him in school when I was in elementary. They had him on their doors, and I was like, "Who is this guy?" I had like 3 posters in my room next to my bed. I remember like one of them, like, oh man, I have a picture of when I went to homecoming, and in the back of me it's a LeBron James picture. I'll try to show it to you. I can't remember who has it, but that's just one of them. But no, he's just been a real inspiration to me as far as someone who really loves the game of basketball. And I don't know, a lot of people hate him, a lot of people don't like him because of the way he plays, and trust me, I hate when he flops. I hate when he cries about fouls, because once he started doing it, then everyone starts to do it, and it just takes away from the game. I hate it, but he's just such an influential player to me in my life. And then it's just so cool seeing him grow up, like me grow up with him, even though he's like 10 years older than me. But just seeing like that, and then seeing his kids now grow up. His son Bronny, he's gonna be in the NBA next year. Wow, that's so it's crazy. Insane.
Your dad is literally gonna be with you, like you and your like. I remember that kid when he was little, like seeing him when he's a baby. You know, he'd be like with courtside and everything with them.
That's crazy. That's really cool to see that father and son kind of be at the same almost level. That's freaking cool.
So it's just been a really like long journey. When he retires, it's gonna be like crazy, because it's like, wow, he's not there anymore.
How old is LeBron now?
He's 39.
And what is usually, I mean, I know there's not really a cutoff age, but when do usually basketball players retire at?
Usually it's like 35, 36.
That's
usually cut off. Like that's already at the end of your career. Like really? You have no bounce, you can't run. You're an old man pretty much. Man, like 35, 36.
Wow, that's crazy. I didn't know that.
So for him doing what he does now, being the age he is, still competing at a high level for the LA Lakers.
That's crazy, man.
And people always talk about the debate, like the GOAT debate, like is it Michael Jordan?
Oh, okay.
Is it LeBron James? I didn't grow up seeing Michael Jordan. I was born in 96. So he was already established in the NBA with the Bulls and stuff, and like I didn't grow up watching Michael Jordan.
I grew up with Michael Jordan with Space Jam.
You see, I love him in Space Jam like that.
Let's see if I remember how to do this.
I wanna fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle. Let my spirit carry me. I wanna fly. Fly right into the future. Time keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping into the future.
I never saw his games. I wasn't even born yet.
So it's like, to me, the greatest player of all time is LeBron for me, just because that's who I grew up. That's the greatness that I've known. Not Jordan, because I don't know anything. You know, I know of him. I've seen YouTube videos of games and highlights and stuff, but I never really saw him. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
What I would say. When it comes to sports, I'm pretty well rounded with everything. Football and basketball are definitely the top 2. And then the one that's emerging over the last, I'm going to say 3 years, has been UFC. UFC is just a big. It's becoming a huge sport.
You got me into the UFC,
right? Dude.
I hardly would watch it, but I mean, it wasn't until like maybe the last 4 or 3 years. You kind of started getting me into it, and then I started watching the fights, and then I was like, damn, it's brutal, but it is very entertaining. Pretty much.
That's cool that I was able to do that, because for me, UFC, I wasn't even around during when like Conor was like upcoming, when he started beating everyone and becoming like the lightweight and flyweight champion or featherweight champion, and I'm like, I never really got to see that. Heard about it because that's all I saw on socials, but
Yeah.
I was never a big UFC fan until 2019.
Okay. Yeah,
Again,
yeah.
I knew about it, but I wasn't invested in it like I am now.
Like the other sports.
And the one
yeah.
who got me invested was Israel Adesanya.
Oh, wow.
He's the one, because he joined UFC, I believe, in 2018. That's when he started to make his debut.
I didn't know that.
He's a middleweight, and he began to just dominate anyone he was fighting. Like, everyone he was fighting, he was just dominating them. And he became the middleweight champion. Robert Whittaker, Marvin Vittori, a bunch of fights that you've come over to see me, you know. He even moved up to light heavyweight to try and get the belt. He lost to Jan Blachowicz, but still, it's still pretty cool. And then you've seen the fights where he fights the guy from Brazil, Alex Pereira.
Oh, okay,
You've
okay.
been with me to see those fights.
Yeah, I think I remember.
The one he lost, devastating, you know. But that guy's a beast. That guy Alex, dude, that guy is insane. He has so much power in his left hand. It's nasty.
Yeah.
It's lights out. But
Right.
he came back that second fight, and he knocked him
And then
out.
yeah.
Remember that,
Yeah.
dude? I was yelling at the top of my lungs, like
Veins popping out.
just like this, like I was about to explode. But
Yeah.
it's just that sport has brought such a joy to me, and I like having you guys over to see it just because like
Yeah.
everyone, you know, it's
Yeah.
one of those sports you don't have to know what's going on.
Yeah.
You don't have to be like, oh, this is what this means.
It's
like
just
football.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
true. Yeah.
he beats him up. That's all it is.
That's all it is.
That's all
yeah.
it is. You know,
True. That
the
makes
basics
sense.
of it.
That makes sense. Yeah.
sports and it's crazy because growing up, like I played them, but then when it came to high school, usually you play them.
Yeah.
I didn't.
But you played also too earlier too, like in middle school, you know.
Yeah,
You
middle
had-
school I
you-
played soccer, but like we
Yeah,
sucked.
I remember I played soccer, and yeah, that was a terrible sport for me. I quickly realized like I hated soccer, but also because everybody,
Why? Too much running?
yeah, too much running, and then two, everybody was dirty in soccer. I
Step
mean,
on
because
your
we
ankles
grew
and
up
shit.
obviously again Mexican kids, and they're the most talented kids in soccer, but they're the most dirtiest. They play dirty because they really mano centro way. It's they kick me. They would kick my shins, man. I hated
Yeah?
it. I hated it. And they would
Dang.
they would say, "Get out of here, güero." They'd be like, they would say, "Stupid pinche güero." Like, get out of
Dang,
here.
dude,
They
you were
would call me.
bullied by them.
They would call me names.
Dude, I made an alliance
and I
with
was
them.
only in it for a year. I only my brother and I, Art and I, we only did it for 1 year. I did it for 1 year, and I quickly realized this is the worst sport ever.
Damn.
Who wants to be running back and forth? You know?
Dude, I got smart. I was like, if I want to play soccer, like I got to be on the good side with them.
Right,
because
right.
like in elementary school, it was always you had your English class and then your bilingual classes, right?
Yeah.
So like all the bilingual kids, the Spanish kids, they all play
Right.
soccer at lunch.
Yes.
Every day,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then the other kids, the English kids, they play football, they play basketball, the
Yeah.
more like Americanized.
Yeah,
guess you
yeah.
could say
That's how it
sports.
always was. Yeah.
I think it got to the point where, like, you know, when you're growing up in school and you
Yeah.
don't find playing at lunch fun, you know what I mean? Like, you get too cool for it.
And,
It never hit me because
Yeah.
I always wanted to play. So 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade,
Yeah.
like I still played because I liked it. I liked playing basketball. I liked playing soccer. I liked throwing the football.
Right.
And
Yeah,
my
they were.
friends in 6th grade, they were like, "Oh no, I'm too cool. Like I'm gonna go hang out with the girls." And I was
Yeah.
like, "Dude, you do that."
Yeah.
Because they weren't playing with me, I didn't have anyone to play with football or basketball.
Yeah.
So I'd go play soccer because I know the
other
bilingual
peop-
kids were playing.
Yeah,
They'd
yeah.
always play. They didn't give
Yeah,
a shit.
they
They were
didn't
always
care.
playing. So I went to go play with them, and then that's how I got to know them like really well. Like
That's
they were
cool.
always cool with me.
That's cool.
And yeah, every time at lunch I'd go play with them, and they kind of teach me like a lot of different stuff, and I'm like,
Nice.
and that's how I got to like soccer more, just because I got a little bit better of insight because they were better than us,
Right.
and so I started playing with better competition, which made me better.
They were good. Yeah. They were good at
And
running.
they were
and
pretty cool
kicking.
people. They
Yeah.
were pretty cool people. They never did that shit to me though, because if they did, nah, I'd fucking throw them over my back or something.
No, they were aggressive. Like other
Damn.
because they were teams from all over competing with not all around the world, but I'm just saying locally, there was some more kids that were coming in from Juarez in Mexico, and they were, some of them only spoke English, or sorry, Spanish, and so English too. Some of the introduction of sports, like when I first started, like I don't have like the knowledge per se of like the way sports, kind of like how you actually know like the teams and like each player, and like I don't have any like relation to that sort of like only in certain sports maybe, but I don't, not to an extent, like I don't even know. It's like
you know who like the quarterback for the Cowboys is
Dak Prescott, right?
Who
right, is that his name? Okay,
what's his first name?
Daft, right? What's his name? Daft Punk. It's all time to get lucky. Again, Zildjian.
Wait, who'd you...
Number 11.
Wait. What's his name?
No. I don't know his name.
I can't hear you. That's
Dak Prescott? Is that his name? I don't know his name. I'm not his mother.
Spell it? Spell it?
No, it's Daft Punk. D-A-F-T. I don't know. Is that right? Daft?
You're close.
I don't
it's
even
Dak.
know. Oh, okay.
D-A-K.
No, I'm thinking Daft.
Daft Punk?
Get lucky.
Throws the football while they're DJing, dude. Oh man.
Well, like exactly.
Daft Prescott. Daft Prescott.
Got a DJ.
This whole time that I've known you, that he's been. You've thought it's Daft Prescott.
I almost thought it was. I really thought it was.
No, you thought it was.
I really thought it was Daft.
It's okay.
But I don't even know.
I'm just trolling him, guys. I just wanted him to say.
No, I mean, no, it's funny because my grandfather's a big Dallas Cowboy fan, and he's always been, and every time he'll tell me, he's like, "Did you see the QB and then Prescott?" And I go, yeah. And I'm like, I don't know
who the ball, right?
Yeah. all I agree with is, did you see that touchdown? Yeah, that was amazing. But when he starts throwing players at me, that 22, Jesus Christ. Boom! And I'm like, I don't know what you're saying, Grandpa.
Boom! Yeah, that's a good one.
But
Daft Prescott, dude.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
But I mean, again, like my introduction for like sports in general were, because my dad, well, obviously he did study martial arts, and that was like the first introduction for me as far as sports was. Because I studied it when I was really young, like when I was like 9, 10. And I did it for like 2 years, or like maybe a year and a half, maybe 2 years, because we were still kind of babies. I didn't take it full on serious studying like Kempo.
Because we were babies.
I know. I just felt like
2 years old. I didn't take it serious.
Oh well, yeah. In diapers, I was still shitting my pants. So
yeah, 2 years old.
Yeah, I had diarrhea and I was kicking some roundhouse kicks with some shit. Like I felt like I was still a baby at 10 years old.
I know what you mean, but it's just funny because I take everything very literal.
I know.
So you're like, yeah, 2 years old, I didn't take it serious.
Yeah, when I was born, I didn't take it serious.
You're still a baby.
Yeah, 3. I didn't take it serious. I just know Goo Goo Gaga, but I didn't take it serious.
Oh man, you cracked me up. I didn't take it serious. You don't even know.
I don't even know what I was talking to, or I didn't even understand words. Yeah. It wasn't until like later, like 8 or 9 or 10 years old. That's when I've had my first introduction to a sport, and it was martial art training. And my dad introduced us not the traditional karate. It was more like for real karate. Like it was, we were learning from he was like a Oriental guy. He had like long hair. He looked like Shang Tsung.
Dang.
Yeah, he was like legit.
Deal,
and it was like a small little rat in the hole kind of place.
Yeah.
And it was scary, and there was mirrors all over, but it was basically empty. And yeah, his style was Kempo, Aikido, and a little bit of judo in there. A lot of he would do things where he would hit you in 5 hits, kind of like this whole 5 hits.
Grab his dick and twist it!
Oh my god, dude, this is an MMA fight, dude.
Twist that dick!
Twist his dick!
Twist his dick!
Oh my god, dude. Oh my god.
Oh, dick twist!
you wouldn't even know. Like you think you're just getting hit one time, but underneath he was hitting you like in 4 other spots. And he did an example one time, like a dummy cardboard thing, and he put markers in 2 of his hands and 2 on his feet, and we were like, nah, we want to see where are the pressure points. And he, sure enough, he did 6 moves, and he pointed them out: 1, 2, 3 to the groin, 4, 5, 6, and 2 in the face. And I was like, what? And he's like, you guys want to try it now? And you know, but he did it on my dad. He showed the move, and my dad was already like, he was all like crouched up. And he's like, you know, because it was scary. And I mean, he was legit. Like, and he was like half Chinese, half some. I forgot. I'm too remember. I was still too young to remember.
On the Asian side.
Yeah, he had. There was one point where he had like a gun pointed at him. Somebody came into his shop. I think he stopped a robbery one time, or he was at a gas station. Somebody came in, and then he looked. It took him 1 second for the guy to look somewhere else. He got the robber. He stopped the robber or something like that. But that was my introduction to sports.
It's crazy that you wouldn't be like in the UFC.
No.
But like, like a fan of it earlier.
Right.
Like than I was, you know?
I was a fan of it only because of, again, go back to the movies, martial art films where I was watching Bruce Lee, my dad introduced Jackie Chan, you know, and those are the introductions of people I looked up as far as like athletes, and I guess you would say athletes, but they're also film, you know,
they were a hybrid. They started off as like martial artists, right? That's what you knew them for, and then they started bringing it to Hollywood, and it just like amplified what they did. They got their platform to show like this is what I know. This is the martial arts that I do. You know, in broadened way. You know, beating up like 90 people, but like reminds me of what's that movie with Donnie Yen?
Oh yeah, Ip Man.
Like, dude, those were cool movies.
They're amazing.
You know? Like, those are awesome.
You know,
dude just beats the whole class there. Just like 90 seconds, 100 people. You know?
Yeah, I think that's the thing too. Is with like when it comes to like martial arts and all that and everything. I think the biggest thing I've learned from sports is like your reaction in actual action time is a lot quicker than you getting a reaction that you would not expect. So basically, if I sucker punched you, you wouldn't see it coming.
Right.
Why? Because we're not waiting for that reaction time. But it's if me and you did a hand-to-hand like boxing,
like if we stood up and we're like,
I'm gonna punch you at some point. You know, you're gonna have to be blocking these.
Right.
But if it was that's why in like real fight scenarios, like street fights, basically, when someone's talking, they're fighting, and then someone just bam hits them, and it sucks, but you never see those coming.
Yeah, you don't. And then
that's what they call sucker punch.
That person gets knocked out cold.
Yeah, and I hate that, you know,
because it's like so stupid.
Yeah.
Again, some people do deserve it, but
yeah, of course, yeah.
It's definitely not fair.
No,
it's definitely not fair. You know, but again, that's just how fights work. You know. Nothing's fair. That's
kind of like
street fights, at least.
Yeah, that's kind of why I also got interested in boxing a little bit in middle school. I got a little bit interested, but this was one sport that my dad he didn't want me doing. Like boxing. I actually was taking it serious. I remember he was
2 years old taking it
right out of the
doing this.
But no, I remember, I mean, the school I grew up with honestly was a really bad school. Like my older brother got in a lot of fights, Andres, and just the area that I grew up in, it just was very, I don't know, like ghetto. I'm not kidding, like straight up. MacArthur, the school was always on the news every other year. Yeah. And the kids were
12-year-old boy beats the shit out of, right?
Yeah.
13-year-old boy beats it's every year, just 1 year older.
And there was a lot of fights, but okay, so like I never got into fights, and school like had that point in my life where I ever caused a fight. I've avoided fights, but I've never actually caused a fight. I never got to the point where it's been heated. My thing, the way I would always save it for myself, if I had beef with someone or whatever, it was for me in this sport, which I'm sure people could relate to, is a game of dodgeball, and that's how I blew off my steam. Like, and I waited at the right moment, you know, and anybody I hated in
you
school.
Went for heads, dude. You went for snipes, headshot snipes. That was you.
Yeah. And It was bad because that sport I honestly could say I was really good at. I honestly was really good. I was like Spider-Man, but I just had so much like agility during that time. When you're a kid, I could jump off the floor like 8 feet in the air.
Yeah.
No,
LeBron James,
no consequences.
Right, land perfect.
Yeah.
Landing.
Dodgeball, technically it wasn't dodgeball, but it was a hybrid of dodgeball. Our coach, I think he made it up. I don't know. I mean, he's probably not made it up.
I'm pretty sure.
It was called trench ball.
Trench ball.
Trench ball was a hybrid of dodgeball where, like, dodgeball, you can't drop. Or no, sorry. Dodgeball, you can bounce the ball, right? But in trench ball, you can't bounce the ball. If you bounce the ball,
you're out.
you have, like, your whole being is to not let go of the ball in trench ball. And then in trench ball, this is where it's hard too, because in dodgeball, if someone catches the ball, you're out. Trench ball, if someone catches the ball, you're safe. But in this case, trench ball, like if I threw a ball at someone and it knocked out of their hand, and it fell to the ground, they're out, but they're technically not out. All they do is go on the outside of the basketball court or wherever, and they're still in the game. So this is where the agility takes place. Because now they're out, but they're outside of the border, but they're still in the game.
Still in the game.
So anytime when I would play dodgeball, I'm looking at two ends. Like, you have to be like Neo, and this is where, like, I was working on again, your agility,
hand-eye coordination,
your reaction has got to be even quicker. So that's why when people would throw the ball, I would like run, and then I would do this like leg thing, because that was the move. You run in the middle and open your leg to, like,
ball goes through. Right.
If someone throws it high, because they would go, all right, they would be like, all right, we're gonna get Adrian. You go high, I go low, and then I'd be like, oh god, here it comes. And then I had to do jump low and then jump high. Like, you have to go like real fast.
Yeah.
So.
Dang, trench ball sounds fun.
Much more harder than dodgeball, because dodgeball, it's easy, because if someone catches the ball, you're out.
And plus, it's just one side you're looking at. In dodgeball, you're not focused on both sides of the court.
That's what made it harder.
Yeah.
But it really helped my, like, agility. Yeah. It helped my reaction time, and which kind of leads into my next sport, which is racquetball. Racquetball. Not till high school. Yeah. Oh, yeah, the breathing.
That's all I hear. I think of racquetball and I hear that.
Second serve.
That's all I hear. Dude.
Yeah. That was the one I got introduced. High school. I got introduced. My dad introduced me into racquetball, and that one I can actually say I'm pretty decent at. Like, that's what I'm saying. I like sports that had focused on reaction, and like, even though football and basketball have that too. You like a lot
of things that were like a little bit more.
Like, it's weird to say. Like this. You have to like move faster. Yeah.
Like snap of fingers.
Reactions.
When it was stuff like football, like because basketball, that's a little
accuracy.
Bit more,
You have to be good at hitting the goal always in the same spot, and I could never master that. I look like an idiot when I would like, I'm literally dribbling with two hands. If you ever see me on the court,
you can't dribble. I know that.
Yeah,
but you can defend.
But I can't even throw either. I don't even have that. What is it? That flare thing, and I literally throw like this.
The flare.
I throw like that. Like,
he doesn't have the flare
or the flick or whatever the hell it's called. Yeah. I don't have that.
You can defend though. In basketball, you can defend.
Sort of, yeah.
All you have to do is just stay in front of the person.
Yeah.
And you can at least do that.
I just, pretty much when I'm defending, I just start sounding like an ape, and I just start going.
You just start making them laugh.
Yeah.
That's your technique.
I look like Cable Guy. That's basically me.
It's basically him. Roll the clip.
And then even working on like sports like speed, which were track and cross country. I tried out for cross country 1 year in 6th grade, and I quickly realized I don't like to run.
You're like, it's not for me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but that's why I got into like in high school. I tried out for gymnastics because
Gymnastics was another one you did. Yeah,
that's the one I wanted to do, like where it just focuses on your like strength and
that's core,
and it's all about yourself. You're basically your own.
That's razor sharp focus.
Yeah, but it's all about strength. That's all it is, really.
Parallel bars, rings,
the pommel.
The pommel,
like it's called horse for short, but pommel is the one I used to do. And but yeah, I used to try that one, but I only did that for a couple of years. But yeah, if there's a sport though you could learn and like get good at, what would it be?
If I could learn and get good at,
like if you had the ability to just say yes, I want to learn it the real way and I want to keep doing it until how long you want.
I think it would have to be MMA.
Yeah,
I feel like that's the most practical answer.
Yeah,
because if I say football or basketball, like that's not really gonna get me anywhere, especially at this point in my life. You know, like it's still cool to be good at basketball.
It's fun to play.
It's still good at football.
Yeah,
it's fun to play, but like practically, like when am I ever gonna really use it? I feel like for me, learning MMA, like kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, boxing, you know, a little bit of judo, like that stuff, I think is something I could definitely use more in life.
In certain elements,
because you never know in any situation what happens. Like, at least you have the ability to defend yourself. Right?
Yes.
In case of anything happens, but I feel like it's a good way to help you like focus. It's a good way to learn technique, to be disciplined.
Yes, that's what it is. Yeah, being disciplined.
And I feel like it just helps you, just in a way of life. It's a physical activity that just helps you
focus.
You know, stay in shape.
Yep.
Which is nice, especially when you get older. You know, it's hard.
Yeah,
it gets harder too, just because of life and stuff.
Athletically, just talking about athletically now, like back then we were like flawless. We were these superheroes, but now that I when I get out of bed, I look like Rick from the Walking Dead, the season 1, where he's like, that's how I look. That's how I look in the first episode when he comes out from the coma.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So
for me, I'm definitely not as athletic as I used to be. Like the other day, I was in my backyard trying to touch my rim. Or touch the net.
Yeah,
I was like, fuck, can I still touch it?
Yeah,
I'm about 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
Right? And easy back in the day. Even 5 years ago, I could do it.
Yeah.
27 now. And I'm just like, oof. But I still did. A little bit lower than I would like to, but still got it. I used to be able to hit rim when I was in like 8th grade. Like freshman, sophomore in high school. But definitely not the same. But like I said, MMA would be probably the most practical thing and something I would really like to learn and dive into.
Same.
What about you?
That would probably be the same. I would love to learn kickboxing again, get the legs involved, because I feel like I used to be really flexible at one point with the legs.
Flexibility.
Damn, man, I lost that, you know, and I don't have that. That's why, like everybody now in the gym, when I go to the gym, and people I see that are my age, they're all power walk. And that's me on the steps. Just everybody.
Blood pressure.
And I'm just like, no, I have to just do it. Just run. I need to run off the calories. I need to do it because it's true. It's like, as we're getting older, like we got to keep some sort of sport, some kind of something.
Some sort of physical activity to keep you like moving. Keep those muscles flowing, the body rolling.
Yeah.
Muscles flowing and the body rolling. Let's go.
That's a good one.
Off the tongue.
Yeah, I'm sure you probably have more to say a lot in some certain areas and certain sports too, because you know this is again you could dive in so much about sports and
there's just so many
specifics,
many specifics, and then so many other sports that we don't
even things that you would call that are not sports but they really are.
Drumline. Just kidding. No, I consider that a sport for sure. A lot of people will argue against it, but for what we do, because I've been in one, it is. It is.
Being out in the sun, in the heat.
One, you have to carry a drum, right? That's 40 pounds, depending on what it is. Two, you have to be coordinated with feet marching. Right? In shape to be able, sort of in shape. At least enough to be able to do a show.
Stamina, you gotta have good stamina.
And be out in the hot sun for practice.
The
other thing would be coordination in music. In the actual drumming.
Like
you can't not do that.
Yeah.
Like all those things together is crazy. Like that takes a huge amount of coordination to
Yes,
do. I don't
it
think
does.
people realize that
Physically,
sometimes.
again, we always talk about it's demanding.
Like if you took the most athletic, best football player or basketball player and put them on a drum line, they're definitely not going to be good.
Oh no,
You know?
it's a different type of.
Because if they can march good, then they probably play bad. If they play good, they probably march bad.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
one. It's like
one
one
or
of
the
the
other.
most coordinated things you have to do. Feet in time, hands in time, your body, your mind.
Your calves are always burning because of the weight.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're just like
man.
this. You're like this. all the
You're
time.
always you have to walk on your toes all the time, and your calves are just always muscle. Just
When I
bursting
break
out.
it down like that, it makes it like, oh shit, like yeah.
Yeah.
But when you just say it without
I know,
breaking
yeah,
it down,
yeah.
you're just like,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
trampoline's not a sport.
Right,
But when you
right.
break it down, it's like, no, that takes a huge.
getting up at 5 a.m. again, and going home at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock at night. That's
Yeah.
a all day like being at school.
It's the
and
equivalent
work.
to like basketball. Like you go to practice early, you get your shots up. That's your warm up.
Yeah.
Then you have practice. You play. You learn plays. You learn this. You learn
Right.
that.
Right.
And then you go home. You still practice a bit. You still put some shots up. Like it's the same things, just different stories.
Yeah.
The sports,
cool.
man. Yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta enroll in a jiu-jitsu class. Me and you.
Man, I
We should
know.
definitely do that.
I want to, man. I want
be
to.
fun.
I really would like to learn that stuff because it doesn't hurt to have some sort of self-defense
Yep.
under your belt. Just in case you say Mike Myers is chasing me, I gotta have at least my stamina and my endurance. I'm not gonna walk and be like,
Yeah.
oh no, kill me,
Kill
no,
me.
you gotta catch me, you gotta catch me.
Yeah, jumping over fences, brick walls.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Being able to land those
Yep.
without breaking a leg, an ankle. You got to be,
pretty much.
that was fun. Sports.
Yeah, yeah.
Sports.
Just got to stay, healthy, athletic, and anybody out there that has some sort of sport, continue playing. Just continue trying to do something physically
Continue
active, and I guess that's the key.
It's a good way of life.
Yeah,
It's a good way of life.
some sort of outlet, whatever it is, and just keep at it.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's drumming because it's the only thing right now that besides maybe going to the gym, but it's just like just got to keep something going.
And if you're 2 years old, don't lose focus. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Cool. All right, you guys. I think that makes a wrap here, this episode in sports, and we'll see you guys next time. See ya.